Hey, what you doing? It's time for another episode of Freedom of Speech on the dime with your girl Pleasure Time, and it's starting right now. Ooh, you gotta say that. Do you hear what I'm saying? Hello, somebody. Let's talk about it. I don't understand why other people are so concerned with what other people are doing to the point that they are competing with other people and not even noticing that what they are doing is not bringing them happiness. They are living in misery trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. Who told you it was a competition? Why is it a competition?
Because everybody, Satan got him like a dog chasing his tail.
My whole thing is, why is it a competition? Like, it makes no sense. Do you not see how big the world is? Do you not see the lack of resources there is around the world in general? What is a competition for? It's still plenty of places that are lacking resources that I'm quite sure could use some of the talents that are being squandered and wasted here in the U.S. But we scare our citizens about other countries so that they don't go out and take their talents elsewhere in the world. So, I mean, God forbid you thrive, you U.S. citizen, thrive and make an invention to make another country great. That's like treason. And it wasn't because it was something that you intended to do. It was just that you decided to take your talent elsewhere, ended up finding some like-minded people, you know what I'm saying, or like individual, or you could have found some corrupt, because they come in both ways, and then develop something that is either very beneficial to the world or very detrimental to the world, one or the other. But the competition, it's the world is so big. People be limiting themselves to their cities, their counties, their states, the state right beside them, their country. There's so many other places you can go. But why are you competing with someone? I understand for sports. I get that. I get the competition in sports. But people literally compete in life, you know? I'm trying to one up this one, but and here's the thing: I really have no problem with competing. My biggest thing is the sore losers, or the bitter players, or the cheaters, or the ones who constantly got to drag someone else down or knock someone else down. They feel that's the only way that they can be elevated. So in that scenario, or in that situation, I wonder, like, who told you wasn't enough space for both of y'all to sit up there? Why is it that everyone wants to be in charge?
Yeah.
No one wants to really negotiate. Everybody wants their side to be heard, but nobody wants to agree to disagree or come up with a solution that everyone can agree upon. Because in all honesty, there is no solution that everyone is all going to agree upon. Because you're gonna have the people who think that everybody should abide by the law. You're gonna have a group of people who think that people should be able to be free to do what they choose as long as they're not harming or hindering anyone. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna have that group of people who think that it should be someone in control telling folks what they should and shouldn't do. So either way, two of them is pretty much the same. If you got a law, you still got someone in charge trying to keep them. So you ain't always got to have royalty. But what do you think the president is? They just don't call it a king here, but that's pretty much what he is. They just called it something different here. So they didn't want to say queen and king, but if you're the leader of the country and all the countries look for an answer from you, then you're pretty much the king of the country. They don't care how they address you.
Yeah.
What you call yourself. That's pretty much the role you stand in.
Yeah.
But no one's looking at it like that, because then, you know why they don't call it that? Because then they'd be subject to bow, because that's what they'd have to do for royalty. That's why they don't call it a king.
Yeah.
Because we'd all be your subjects, but we're still your subjects. Because if we disobey what is put in sight, you either go to jail or you're considered a traitor. So that's treason. So how is that any different? Like I said, whether you call it a one night stand or affair, it's still adultery. If you was married.
They call it like that. They call it like that because if the black person get it, they don't want to have to buy it in.
Yeah, well, they knew that was long coming anyway, but still. But I don't think it was just for the black. That was any other race.
Yeah.
Because it was still always a chance that there'd be an uprising for one race or the other, or someone would sway sides. You know, you can't always think that racism is going to. I know you know now that racism doesn't outweigh the good in humanity. That's why you cheat in the polls and stuff. That's why you cheat, because you know for a fact that if you actually went off the actual what humanity said, a lot of you would never make office. So you play that there is really no humanity, but there's a lot. It's a lot of good in people. Is this that's not what you want to advertise? You want to make it look like the entire world is corrupt, but it's not. Stuff like that have to be trained, have to be taught. But if you could really control the masses, you wouldn't have built clones either. That's why you built clones, because you knew you couldn't control them. You know. So I mean, this topic of conversation could bounce all over the place as far as the different stuff that really goes on in the world. But we started out talking about why people don't mind their own business. We're gonna go back to that. Why people don't mind their own business. Why are people concerned with what other people want? You wanted a 4-bedroom trailer with 3 baths with a pull-out porch, and it's cool to have a little swing and maybe a little pool set in the backyard. That's cool. You want to have about 2,500 square feet. That's all nice and dandy. That's your dream. Sitting on about 2 acres. That's your dream. So don't get mad because I can see myself in over 8,000 square feet, at least 7 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, a master kitchen, my own office, my own studio, my own theater, my own gym, my own garden, my own pool, my own barbecue room, my own entertainment area. my own catering area, my own art center, my own car garage, my own. I want my own barn, I want my own little farm. I want to be able to have my own herbs and spices, my own little garden, be able to go out and do my own milk and cheese and wine. So it sounds like I want a little bit more than you, but there's no sense of you being mad once you see that I have all of that because that's what I wanted and that's all you wanted. You see what I'm saying? Because I want all of these things because there's different things that I would like to do and I would like to experience. Do I need all of these things? No. Oh no, I don't need. Will I survive if I don't get all these things? Yeah. But if I had the money to get these things, would I have all these things? Absolutely. Because that's what I want. So that it doesn't make a difference that you wanted a 3 to 4 bedroom, trailer, or you wanted a 3 to 4 bedroom house, in a subdivision. Or maybe you just wanted an apartment or a condo or, a beachside, a beachfront or a lakeside. But that's not what I want. So I never want to discourage you or say that you should want more or anything. Why should I? That's all you wanted. I can't help that you got the dreams of a secretary teacher and I got the dreams of a governor. So I mean that's like they said, kids can be raised in the same household under the same rules and which and still turn out completely different. And that's been proven because how many households have you ever heard where they said all their kids was the same? And I ain't read a statistic yet about it either.
That's gonna be all the same.
Yeah, ain't nobody all the same.
So,
So I don't know. Like I said, I just wish that people would just mind it. It's different in supporting someone and voicing your opinions, which is totally, totally fine. It's fine to voice your opinion. No one is faulting you about how you feel or why you feel the way that you feel because that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But once you start voicing it as to insinuate that someone might need to make changes, you know what I'm saying, then that's a big step right there. Because in my situation, especially when you're approaching people, in these situations, and you don't have the best interests at heart, well, for one, someone else is going to feel that negative energy. And for two, even if you really meant no harm by it, it's really also, for one, a time and a place to do things. For two, there is a way to do things. And unless y'all is buddy buddy, I mean, because even with family, like folks feel that they can tell you stuff because they family. Oh, I'm family, so you should listen. No, boo boo. That's not how that works. I'm fine with anybody voicing their opinion, showing their consideration. But don't overstep your boundaries. Because at the end of the day, you still have no heaven or hell to put anyone into, and that person still has to answer for themselves.
that's true.
So I tell people a lot of time when they be trying to get their point across against to people, even if you are that warning before destruction, don't be the I told you so and the reason why that person feel that they can never get back up because you're gonna be that person to come around and tell you I told you so. Or you always right person. Because that's also another reason why a lot of seeds are not grown because we're supposed to be there to encourage and uplift people and instead we rip their roots right out of the soil.